This is going to be our landing approach. Nice and slow, we can go nose high. And again, and this video will have a whole lot of this.
Hello everyone, I'm James with Motion RC, back with another flight review. This time, it's going to be on the Freewing Mirage 2000C version 2 in that beautiful tiger meat scheme. It is available now to purchase. It's not on pre-order. There is stock in the warehouse and it is going quick. So definitely grab one if you like what you see here. Now this flight review is going to run a little differently than past ones. Ryan didn't get a chance to fly this one, and we'll get to that in a second. This time, we'll take you out to China, where Alpha, our product manager, the guy who puts a lot of his time into helping design the Freewing and Flightline lines and our Admiral lines and so much other stuff. He put this bird through its paces, so we're going to show you that full flight in a minute. But now, we were gonna debut this model and at least show you guys it flying when we were at Jet Jam. That was about 2 months ago now. I met up with Ryan and Mike and we had a lot of fun over at that gorgeous field in Elizabeth, Indiana. And Ryan brought the Mirage down. He did the build, as you can see before, and he wanted to maiden it prior to the show. He didn't want to do it in front of everyone. So he went there the night before, and here is how it went.
Taking off. Oh, piss. Whoa. All right.
Whoa. Is it reversed?
I think. I don't know what's up. Damn.
It was reversed?
So guys, that's what we like to call a teachable moment, as Ryan likes to say. Doesn't matter if you're a seasoned pro like Ryan is and Mike, or a beginner. It can happen to anyone. Make sure you check your throws, do your pre-flight checks properly, make sure you got a charged battery, all that good stuff. Maybe we'll do a whole video on pre-flight checks coming in the future. But now that actual Mirage, Ryan brought it home all crashed up, and then George Baker, Tired Iron Aviation, he asked Ryan to send it to him, and you can see here, he posted it now on our C groups and Hobby Squawk, all his pictures, but here are some of them as it was, and then he ended up buying himself a fuselage from the original Mirage, and he put that thing back together. So we're hoping to get another flight from him, some more beautiful footage, especially from some of the guys at Tired Aviation. He has a guy named Dieter who can do some awesome chase cam. So George is definitely going to put that baby in high alpha and let somebody run around it and just show you more of the flight, because he's really been loving it. So before we get to Alpha's flight, let's just run through the specs and tell you what's different about this Mirage versus the previous one. So first things first, we still are at an 80mm EDF, only this time we went down from a 12 to a 9-bladed fan. That's going to give us more balance power and more thrust, so you can really hit those high alphas, as you'll see coming up. And what you sacrifice in sound isn't so much the power, is what we really want. We're gonna have a new motor upgrade, so from 1750 kV on the original, we are now at 1900 kV, still a 3530, and it is a brushless outrunner. Then also, we've boosted the ESC from an 80 amp with a 5 amp BEC to a 100 amp ESC with a 5 amp BEC. We have all new digital Metal Gear servos throughout the aircraft. And then we will be coming out with some additional 3D printed parts. So we will release the files for free for anyone who wants to print them out themselves, or if you know somebody who has a printer. But if you don't have access to that, don't want to pay someone else to do it, you'll be able to buy some pre-printed parts from us. So we'll have a cockpit set, we're going to have a nozzle, and we're going to have some antennas. So if you want those, we will be sure to let you know as soon as they become available. So get those while they're hot. But now, let's take it out to China, over to Alpha, our product manager, and he's going to take this baby for a flight.
Hey everybody. It's going to be our flight demo of the new Mirage from Freewing. This is our version 2 with the 9-blade setup. This is stock PNP on a 6S4000. We're going to be showing just some slow passes. This is completely power off. And this video will have a whole lot of this. So the benefit of this new 9-blade power system is that, as you can see, we now have hover power on tap. I'm going to cut power here and just do a long, slow descent. Slight up elevator. and we can hold high alpha. Very slow high alpha. I'm about 1/3 power here. Just putts across the sky. When desired, we'll power up to full, we'll come around. Do a faster pass far away. This is now one of our fastest aircraft in the lineup from Freewing. Power off glide. Power off, it's a little faster than some of our 70mm aircraft. And again, I'm going to feed in just about 1/3 elevator, and I'm at 20% throttle right now. Those of us who are afraid of the aircraft, wondering if it gets too small too fast, you can fly it slower as a Delta. It doesn't mind slow flight, as you can see. I'm going to cut to power here and hold my full up elevator. We'll come to a stall without any power, and I'll feed in as needed, and we can just stay right where we want it. Kind of fly into these clouds. I'll frame up the shot a little better. We're going to come towards us here. And a nice, very about 80-degree or so steep, high alpha towards the camera. My throttle's only about half power, by the way. I'm about 40% right here, 40% elevator, full elevator. And we have the power. I'll frame it right there in the camera. We can see we're almost at a near standstill. Come around and power up again. Use that rudder to keep the nose pointed towards the sky. We'll do a nice little spin for you there. And we can power off. Half elevator to recover again. Feed in the throttle very, very gently. Only as needed. Keeping that nose up. And again, full blast. And feeding in as needed to practice keeping the nose up in the sky. With the new Tiger Meat scheme, this nice, bright tail and wings, it helps us with orientation. A good differentiation between the dark wing on the bottom, obviously, and that bright up top. And nice and slow. I'm about 80% elevator on that pass. We don't have any headwind today, so I need just about, that was about 1/3 throttle. And back to 0. So it's an economical flyer, especially on the 6S 4000. As a Delta, it doesn't need a lot of power to stay in the air. I'm keeping the nose up for a long time, a great portion of this flight. Try and frame it in that cloud for you there, showing that we are in fact essentially hovering. And let the aircraft fall out, 0 power, and it picks up speed on its own. Use that rudder very effectively, as we see there. As I'm banking, I pull the rudder completely to the right to get the nose to the sky. At no point am I ever really worried about stalling. When in doubt, power up. And this is going to be our landing approach. Nice and slow, we can go nose high. And again, if I tap the throttle a little too much, I actually, unfortunately, I nose up. So it just gives us a good idea of just how much power this aircraft has. Good recovery, and get really sloppy on that throttle. Push the aircraft nose over, and that's completely fine. We can fly this aircraft very, very, very responsibly. Some of us call that fun. Now, a tip for the Mirage, it does like to land a little flatter than it can typically fly, well, obviously. So we want to make sure that we're coming in with just a little bit of power. And we'll show you that here. Just a little bit of power, begin to nose up. And no bounce. Suspension struts are the same from the previous iteration, which we really like. We're flying off of pretty rough gravel today. We'll pull in here for the camera to give you one last shot of the all-new Freewing version 2 Mirage.
Thank you so much, Alpha. So let's wrap this up. As you can see, guys, this Mirage is a bit different than the first version. You got a lot more power, a lot more thrust. You can really have fun with that triangle delta wing. It looks really cool in the air, and hopefully that scheme makes it a little easier for people to see, because it's just going to look like a triangle if it didn't have something to jump out for you to see it. But it looked really good as far as that flight, and we're going to have more from George Baker, from other people who get them. If you ordered a Mirage and you get it in and you're going to film some video, by all means share it with us. Share it on Facebook, share it on YouTube, send us links. I'll find it. Maybe you'll end up in the fan flight section of our YouTube channel. That's the new playlist we release. We love to see customers flying our product, and I'm going to do a video in the future that's going to tell you more about how we can start doing that even more. So guys, that'll do it for this flight review. Like, share, and subscribe to all things Motion RC. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. We're there, and we'll see you next time.